You don't owe them an explanation. You hear me? You don't owe them a status update. You don't owe them proof. You don't owe them a preview of what you're building in the dark. See, everybody wants to talk about what they're going to do. Everybody wants to post about the dream. Everybody wants applause before they've even started. But you're different. You've learned something most people will never understand. Silence is power. Not the silence of fear. Not the silence of doubt. The silence of focus. The silence of someone who knows that words are cheap and work is expensive. While they're talking, you're training. While they're celebrating potential, you're building proof. While they're looking for validation, you're validating yourself through action. That's the difference. Let me ask you something. Why do you think the lion doesn't announce when he hunts? Why doesn't the sun send a memo before it rises? Because real power doesn't need permission. Real strength doesn't need an audience. Real progress doesn't require applause. It just moves. Quietly, consistently, relentlessly. And that's what you need to become. Listen to me carefully. The noise around you is designed to distract you. The voices are designed to pull you off course. The opinions are designed to make you second guess what you already know is true. They'll ask you what you're doing. They'll question your methods. They'll laugh at your dedication. They'll call you obsessed. They'll say you're doing too much. Good. Let them talk. Because while they're running their mouths, you're running toward your destiny. I need you to understand something about silence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. When you work in silence, you protect your energy. You protect your vision. You protect your dream from people who don't have the capacity to understand it yet. Not everyone deserves to know your next move. Not everyone has earned access to your process. Not everyone can handle the weight of your ambition. So you move in silence. You wake up before them. You train harder than them. You study longer than them. You fail more than them. You get back up faster than them. And you don't say a word about it. Because here's what happens when you talk too much. You release the pressure. You give away the tension that's supposed to fuel you. You waste energy explaining instead of executing. You seek comfort in their approval instead of finding strength in your own conviction. You rob yourself of the hunger. And hunger is what separates the successful from the stuck. Think about it. Every great thing that's ever been built was built in private first. Every champion spent hours alone in the gym. Every artist spent nights alone with their craft. Every entrepreneur spent years alone with their vision. Alone. In silence. With nobody watching. With nobody cheering. With nobody believing. But they didn't need the crowd. They had something more powerful than applause. They had discipline. And discipline doesn't make noise. Discipline wakes up at 5 in the morning without an alarm. Discipline does the work when motivation is gone. Discipline shows up on the bad days. Discipline keeps going when nobody's looking. Discipline is quiet. But discipline builds empires. So here's what I need you to do. Stop announcing your plans. Stop posting about what you're going to do. Stop looking for permission from people who haven't done what you're trying to do. Just work. Work when you're tired. Work when you're discouraged. Work when you don't feel like it. Work when they doubt you. Work when you doubt yourself. Work in silence. Because your results will make more noise than your words ever could. You know what's beautiful about results? Results don't need an introduction. Results don't need to be explained. Results don't need to be explained. Results don't need to be defended. Results just show up and silence every single person who doubted you. Results walk into the room and everybody shuts up. That's the power you're building right now in the quiet moments. In the early mornings, in the late nights, in the moments when nobody's paying attention. You're not building for them anyway. You're building for you. And I'm going to be honest with you. This path is lonely. When you choose to work in silence, people will misunderstand you. They'll think you're being secretive. They'll think you're being arrogant. They'll think you've forgotten about them. Let them think it. Because you know something they don't. You know that your focus is more valuable than their opinion. You know that your time is more precious than their approval. You know that your dream is bigger than their small thinking. So you keep moving. Silently, steadily, surely. You want to know what fear sounds like? Fear is loud. Fear needs to announce itself. Fear needs to prove itself. Fear needs to prove itself. Fear needs constant validation. You know what confidence sounds like? Confidence is silent. Confidence doesn't need to convince anyone. Confidence just shows up and does the work. Confidence trusts the process, even when the process is painful. That's what you're building right now. Unshakable confidence. Not the fake confidence of empty words. The real confidence that comes from doing the work, when nobody's watching. The confidence that comes from keeping promises to yourself. The confidence that comes from knowing you've earned every inch of your progress. So when they ask you what you're doing, smile and tell them you're working on yourself. When they ask you where you've been, tell them you've been busy. When they ask you what your secret is, tell them there is no secret. Just work, just discipline, just showing up every single day and putting in the reps. Because here's the truth they don't want to hear. Success is not complicated. Success is not mysterious. Success is not about hacks or shortcuts or secrets. Success is about doing the boring work consistently in silence until the results become impossible to ignore. That's it. That's the whole game. So stop waiting for someone to notice you. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The moment is now. The work is in front of you. And the only question is this: are you willing to do it in silence? Are you willing to sacrifice the applause today for the respect tomorrow? Are you willing to trade the temporary comfort of validation for the permanent power of results? Are you willing to be misunderstood, underestimated, and overlooked while you're building something they can't even imagine yet? Because if you're truly willing to embrace the silence, something incredible is going to happen. You're going to discover who you really are, not who they told you to be, not who they expected you to become, but who you are when you strip away all the noise, all the opinions, all the distractions. You're going to meet the real you, the focused you, the disciplined you, the unstoppable you. And that